Hi guys, so today we're going to talk a little bit about finding the surface area of a right triangular prism. So again, like with the rectangular prisms, surface area is the sum of the area of all of the faces of a solid shape. Okay, obviously within a triangular prism, you're not going to have all rectangles or squares like we did with the rectangular prisms or the cubes. So to find the surface area of a rectangular prism, it's more efficient to find the area of each face and calculate the sum of all the faces rather than use a formula. I know on the rectangular prism sheet there was an actual formula. I still like to do the surface area of rectangular prisms by finding the area of each shape as well. So we're going to kind of follow just that same procedure for today. So in this particular example, if you break apart the triangular prism, you have two faces that are triangles. So the front and the back are triangles that are exactly the same size, so their areas are going to be the same. And then, of course, you have three other sides that are rectangular. So we have the bottom here. We have the two sides, which kind of form a tent. So we have one side here. And we have our last side over here. So you kind of have to picture it sitting in front of you just to make a little bit more sense. So here is the net, which actually breaks up this triangular prism, and it has all the necessary dimensions drawn along with it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use these sides to figure out the surface area of the rectangular prism. So in this next piece, we have a chart set up, and let's just take a look and see where all this information came from. So if you take a look at the two triangles, either the front or the back, again, we said that the area of the triangles is going to be the same. If you take a look closely, you can see that the base of the triangle is 4 inches. The height is 3 inches. So in this first box, to find the area of that triangle, we want to multiply 1/2 times 4 times 3, which is 6. But keep in mind, we have two triangles, the front and the back, that are exactly the same size with the same area. So if we double that area of 6, we're going to get a final area of 12 for the two triangles. If I take a look at one of the rectangular faces, and we're going to start with why don't we start with this rectangle here. Okay, you can see you have a base or a length of 14 inches and a height of 3.6. So multiplying those together, we get 50.4. The other side of the triangular prism, this rectangle here, has exactly the same dimensions. Okay, it's a little bit easier to see with the other side, but those same dimensions will give you an area of 50.4 as well. And then finally, we have the base of the rectangle, which has different dimensions, so we have to watch out for that. We have a length and a width of 14 inches and 4 inches. So multiplying that together, we get an area of 56 inches squared. So in order to find the area of the whole entire triangular prism, we want to add all of our areas together. So if you take a look, we have our area of 12 for the triangles, 50.4 for two of the rectangular sides, 56 for the last side, and adding that all together, we get a final surface area of 168.8 square inches. Okay, let's take a look at another one. So in this problem here, we have another triangular prism. It's sitting a little bit differently. Okay, but again, we have two triangles that are exactly the same size. They have the same measurements, so therefore the same area. So using our area formula, we have 1/2 base times height. So for both of these triangles, we have a base of 12 and a height of 9. So if I multiply that together and divide by 2 or multiply by 1/2, I'm going to get an area of 54 square feet. Since both those triangles have the same area, we're going to double that, and we have a total of 108 square feet for the triangles. Okay, let's take a look at our rectangles. And I'm going to use a highlighter just to kind of point out which rectangle I'm looking at. So if we take a look at the bottom here, I can see for that rectangle, I have a length of 12 and a width of 23, which is going to give me an area of 276. Okay, if I look at another one of the rectangles, let's say I take a look at this rectangle here. Okay, that's going to have a length of 23 and a width of 15. So we have an area of 345 square feet. And then finally, if I take a look at the last rectangular side, okay, over here, we can see that we have a width of 9, and for the length, that length is going to be the same as the length of the base, 23. So 9 times 23 is going to give us an area of 207 square feet. Okay, so if I take all of those areas that I calculated, 108, 276, 345, and 207, I'm going to get a total surface area of 936 square feet. All right, so hopefully those two examples help you guys out for the work that I have assigned for today, which is the remainder of the problems on this handout. We're going to do things a little bit differently as far as the answer key goes. I'm going to go over those problems tomorrow during our Zoom session. If you can't make the Zoom session for whatever reason, don't worry about it. After the Zoom session, I will send out a key so everybody has it, whether you're able to make it or not. Okay, in the meantime, if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, don't forget about your I Ready for the week, 30 minutes. And until tomorrow, have a great afternoon.